Have you ever said the right thing, done the right thing, been the good person, only to be walked all over? Have you ever watched someone less competent, less kind, less deserving than you command the respect you crave but never receive? You play by the rules of society, the rules of being agreeable, humble, and patient, believing your worth will eventually be recognized. Yet, you remain invisible, your boundaries are treated as mere suggestions, and your kindness is mistaken for a weakness to be exploited. You are left wondering, in a world that preaches virtue, why does being good so often lead to being disrespected? You see it in the office, where the diligent worker is passed over for a promotion in favor of the one who is better at managing perception. You feel it in your personal life, where your constant availability leads not to gratitude, but to being taken for granted. You are not alone in this confusion. For centuries, we have been sold a comforting lie, that if you are a good person, the world will be good to you. That respect is something you earn through passivity and accommodation. But what if that entire premise is wrong? What if the rules you are playing by were designed not to reward you, but to keep you predictable, manageable, and easy to control? There was a man who saw through this charade over 500 years ago. A man whose name has become synonymous with cunning, ruthlessness, and a terrifyingly clear view of reality. Machiavelli. He wrote a manual, not for the masses, but for princes, for leaders, for anyone who wanted to seize control of their destiny. And his teachings, stripped of their historical context, reveal a timeless and brutal truth about human nature and the mechanics of respect. This is not a guide about making more friends or being more popular. This is about power. Not the power to dominate others, but the sovereign power to command your own life, to ensure your value is never questioned, and to build a fortress of self-respect that no one can ever tear down. The world will not give you respect. You must seize it. And Machiavelli, the master of the dark arts of strategy, is going to show you how. Get ready, because the truths we are about to uncover are not comfortable. They are not kind. But they are the keys to ensuring that nobody will ever disrespect you again. Before you can command respect, you must first do something incredibly difficult. You must stop seeing the world as you wish it were, and start seeing it as it is. This is the cornerstone of all Machiavellian thought, the foundation upon which all power is built. Most people live their lives in a state of hopeful delusion. They operate on a software of shoulds. People should be fair. People should be grateful. People should be honorable. They make decisions based on how they believe a good person should act, projecting their own moral code onto a world that does not share it. And so, they are constantly surprised, hurt, and betrayed when people act in their own naked self-interest. They are disrespected because their entire strategy is based on a fantasy. Machiavelli teaches that a person who wishes to maintain their power, or even just their own sanity, must learn how not to be good. This does not mean you should become a monster, an instruction many have misinterpreted over the centuries. It is far more subtle and profound than that. It means you must understand that human beings, when their interests are at stake, are, as he wrote, fickle, ungrateful, deceptive, and greedy. They will smile to your face while plotting your downfall. They will accept your help today and forget you tomorrow. To expect loyalty from those who have no incentive to be loyal is not idealism, it is foolishness. And the world has no mercy for fools. Look at your own life. Think of that colleague who was so friendly, who you helped with their project, only to watch them present your ideas as their own in the big meeting. You were shocked. You felt betrayed. But you should not have been. You acted as if you were dealing with a teammate. They were acting as if they were in a competition. They saw an opportunity for their own advancement, and they took it, because their self-interest was a more powerful motivator than their sense of fairness to you. You lost because you were playing chess while they were playing a game with no rules but one: win. To see the world as it is means to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt when they have given you no reason to. It means understanding that trust is a resource far more valuable than gold, and it should be given only to those who have earned it through consistent, proven action, not through pleasant words. It means when you deal with people, you operate from a position of strategic caution, not blind faith. This is not cynicism. Cynicism is the bitterness of a disappointed idealist who still secretly wishes the world were different. This is realism. It is the clarity of a strategist who accepts the terrain as it is and plans the route accordingly. Your pain and your disrespect often come from one single source: the gap between how you expect people to be and how they actually are. Close that gap. See them for what they are, not what you want them to be, and you will have taken the first, most important step toward becoming untouchable. Now we arrive at the most misunderstood and controversial statement Machiavelli ever wrote. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Modern society recoils at this idea. We are taught that fear is toxic, that it is the tool of tyrants and bullies. But we have sanitized the word, stripping it of its power and forgetting what Machiavelli truly meant by fear. He was not talking about inducing terror or being a cruel, unpredictable monster. The fear he speaks of is something closer to awe, to a profound and unshakable respect for consequences. Let's be brutally honest. Love is a weak and unreliable bond. As Machiavelli wrote, it is held by a chain of obligation which, because men are wretched creatures, is broken at every opportunity for their own profit. When someone respects you out of love or because they like you, they respect you only as long as it feels good, as long as it is convenient, as long as they get something out of it. It is conditional, and it depends entirely on their fleeting emotions, which you do not control. Fear, on the other hand, is a bond you control completely. It is, in Machiavelli's words, maintained by a dread of punishment which never fails. When a person fears you in the Machiavellian sense, they understand one simple thing: your boundaries are real and non-negotiable. Crossing you has a cost. Disrespecting you has a predictable and unpleasant outcome. They may not like you, they may complain about you behind your back, but they will not dare to challenge you, because they respect your power to enforce your will. Think of a quiet librarian who asks for silence. People might ignore her. Now think of a judge in a courtroom. His request for silence is met with immediate compliance. Is the judge more loved? No. He is more feared, not because he is threatening, but because everyone in the room understands the consequences of defying his authority. He has the power to enforce his rules, and everyone knows it. That is Machiavellian fear. It is the quiet certainty of your strength. How do you build this in your own life? You stop giving endless warnings. You stop making empty threats. You stop explaining over and over why your boundaries are important. You simply act. When someone consistently shows up late to meetings you've organized, you start the meeting on time and they miss crucial information. When a friend repeatedly cancels plans at the last minute, you stop inviting them. When someone speaks down to you, you end the conversation calmly and walk away. You do it without anger, without emotion. The consequence is the message. Your actions are the sermon. People will quickly learn that your rules are not suggestions, they are laws. And it is in that moment, when they understand that your kindness is a choice and not a default setting, that true, unshakable respect is born. They will tread carefully around you, not because you are mean, but because they know you are not to be trifled with. To navigate this world of wolves and snakes, you cannot be a single creature. You must become a hybrid, a chimera of power. Machiavelli taught that a leader must learn from two beasts, the lion and the fox. For the lion cannot defend himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Most people who fail to command respect are only one of these, or more often, neither. The person who is only a lion is all brute force and intimidation. They are loud, aggressive, and confrontational. They may scare off some opponents, but they are blind to subtle manipulation. They walk straight into traps laid by cleverer, more deceptive people. They are easily outsmarted, tricked with flattery, and led astray because their power lacks intelligence. They react with anger to every problem, never seeing the hidden game being played. This is the manager who yells but can't see that his most loyal subordinate is stealing his clients. Then you have the person who is only a fox. They are clever, perceptive, and can see the hidden motives of others. They understand the games people play. But they have no strength, no power to act. They see the trap, but they are too weak to fight off the wolf guarding it. They complain about injustice, they point out hypocrisy, they understand the problem perfectly, but they have no roar. Their cleverness leads only to anxiety and inaction, because without the lion's courage, the fox is simply a well-informed victim. This is the employee who knows exactly how office politics work, but is too afraid to speak up or make a bold move, and so remains stuck in the same position for years. To be truly respected, you must be both. You must have the lion's heart. This is your courage, your willingness to be confrontational when necessary, your refusal to back down when a core principle is challenged. It is the strength that allows you to enforce the consequences we spoke of earlier. It is the power that makes people think twice before challenging you directly. But you must also have the fox's mind. This is your ability to read people, to listen more than you speak, to understand the subtext of a conversation. It is the cunning that allows you to recognize flattery as a tool of manipulation, to spot a hidden agenda, to see the trap before you are caught in it. The fox does not fight every battle, it chooses its ground. It knows when to be silent, when to observe, and when to retreat to fight another day. In practice, this means you stop taking everything at face value. When someone gives you a compliment, the fox in you asks, what do they want? When someone presents an opportunity, the fox asks, what is the hidden cost? At the same time, when a clear boundary is violated, the lion in you acts decisively, without hesitation. The fox provides the strategy. The lion provides the execution. When people realize they cannot crush you with force and cannot trick you with cunning, they are left with only one option: respect. They see you as a formidable player, someone who understands the game on every level. Now let's talk about the theater of power. Machiavelli understood a crucial secret of human psychology. People judge what they see, not what is real. He wrote that men in general judge more by the eyes than by the hands, for everyone can see, but few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. This is not a call to be a hypocrite or a fake. It is a lesson in managing perception. Your reputation is a tool of power, and you must craft it with the same care as a sculptor carves stone. In our modern world, this theater is everywhere. It's in the way you carry yourself in a meeting, the way you write an email, the way you curate your online presence. You do not have to be generous all the time, but you must appear generous when it counts. You do not have to be moral in every private thought, but you must cultivate the public image of a person with principles. Why? Because the masses do not have access to your inner world. They have only your actions and your reputation to judge you by. A reputation for being ruthless but fair, for being decisive but principled, is an impenetrable shield. This extends to the economy of your actions. When you must be cruel or firm, Machiavelli advises that the cruelty should be done all at once, so that it is less savored and offends less. A single, decisive, and powerful act of enforcement has a much greater impact and creates less long-term resentment than a series of small, nagging punishments. The person who constantly complains, who nitpicks, who doles out little punishments, is seen as a weak and irritating tyrant. The person who overlooks small slights but reacts with overwhelming force to a major transgression is seen as a powerful and just leader. They have an economy of action. Their power is more potent because it is used selectively. Think about how you operate. Do you broadcast your every move? Do you explain your every decision? Do you constantly seek approval for your actions? This is the behavior of someone who is not in control. Power moves in silence. It does not need to announce itself. Stop telling people your plans. Let them see only your results. Stop explaining your no. A no that is justified is not a no, it is a negotiation. A simple, unexplained no is a wall. It is a statement of absolute authority. And above all, control your emotions. An emotional outburst is a confession of powerlessness. It shows the world that someone or something has gotten under your skin and taken control of you. The person who can receive insults, praise, threats, and opportunities with the same calm, analytical demeanor is a person who cannot be manipulated. They observe, they calculate, and then, only when the time is right, they act. This cool detachment is terrifying to those who rely on emotional provocations to gain an advantage. They try to find a button to push, but you have no buttons. By mastering your appearance, your actions, and your emotions, you build an aura of power around you. People will not know what you are thinking. They will not be able to predict your next move. And in that uncertainty, respect grows. Because what cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. If you choose this path, you must be prepared for the consequences. The Machiavellian way is not a path to popularity. It is a path to power, and power is a lonely pursuit. The moment you stop being the agreeable, predictable, and overly available person you once were, the world around you will react, and it will not be pleasant. Those who benefited from your weakness will be the first to attack you. They will call you cold, selfish, arrogant, or manipulative. They will accuse you of having changed. And they will be right. You have changed. You have stopped being a resource for them to exploit and have started becoming a sovereign power. Their criticism is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is the clearest proof that you are doing everything right. It is the sound of parasites losing their host. You will have to get comfortable with being misunderstood. The masses think in simple terms: good or bad, nice or mean. They will not understand the nuance of your strategy. They will not see the fox's cunning or the lion's courage. They will only see that you are no longer easy to use. And for that, many will resent you. You must be willing to trade the shallow affection of the crowd for the deep, unshakable respect of the few who matter. This path requires you to make hard decisions. You will have to cut people out of your life, not with anger, but with the cold precision of a surgeon removing a cancer. You will have to choose your long-term integrity over short-term social comfort. You will have to endure periods of silence and solitude as you recalibrate your life and your relationships. This is the price. The price for no longer being a victim of circumstance. The price for no longer feeling that sting of disrespect. The price for becoming the master of your own soul. Before you can be reborn, the old you, the one who craved approval and feared conflict, must die. Are you willing to pay that price? If you endure the fire, if you pay the price, what is on the other side? It is not a world where you are constantly fighting, constantly on guard. It is the opposite. It is a world of peace. A world where you no longer need to fight, because the battles are won before they even begin. When you integrate these principles, you undergo a fundamental transformation. You stop being a reactive creature, tossed about by the words and actions of others, and you become a creator. You shape your reality. Disrespect ceases to be a problem, not because you have scared everyone into submission, but because your very presence communicates a quiet strength that makes disrespect an illogical choice. People sense that you are not someone whose boundaries can be tested. This is true sovereignty. It is an inner state of being that is reflected in the outer world. You move through life with a calm purpose, unbothered by the petty dramas and power games that consume most people. You have the lion's strength, so you do not fear confrontation. You have the fox's cunning, so you rarely need it. You have mastered the art of appearance, so your reputation precedes you and does much of the work for you. You will find that your relationships change dramatically. The sycophants, the users, and the emotionally needy will have vanished. In their place will be a smaller, more robust circle of people who respect you, not for your kindness, but for your strength. They are the other lions and foxes, those who recognize and value power and integrity. Your interactions become more honest, more direct, and more meaningful, because there is no room for games when dealing with an equal. This is the ultimate promise of the Machiavellian path. It is not about becoming a heartless monster. It is about building a life so well fortified, with a will so well mastered, that you can finally afford to be truly generous, truly kind, and truly merciful. But you will be doing so from a position of absolute strength, not from a position of need. You give because you choose to, not because you hope to get something in return. That is the freedom that power buys, and that is a peace that can never be taken from you. If you are ready to stop being a pawn and start becoming a player in your own life, if you are ready to claim the respect you deserve, write in the comments below, "I command my respect." Let the world know that the old you is gone. A new era has begun.